Hey guys, I'm just out here playing around a little bit with Tom Chitwood's old Hickory Kephart knife. This was the knife that he modified from the old Hickory butcher knife into this Kephart knife. Modified the handle. I forced a patina on it. I'm just out here having a little bit of fun with it today. Here is the sheath that I use for it. Just a brown leather sheath that I bought off eBay a while back, and it happens to fit the knife quite well. When Tom sent this to me, he said it deserves a nice sheath, and I think that one's okay for it. So let's show you what I was doing here. I just did some batoning with it. Batoning up some of this wood. And this thing is nice. So the old Hickory butcher knife itself is very fun to use, but these modifications, these Kephart modifications on that are excellent. It's like playing around with a whole new knife, guys. Keeps the same edge. Has all the characteristics of the old Hickory butcher knife, just in a smaller package. And for those of you guys who know Tom Chitwood, know that he's an absolute craftsman when it comes to stuff like this. If you don't know him, go check out his channel and sub him. He's such a tremendous, nice guy, and he's so good with crafting and working with his hands and sewing, and you'd be amazed at what you'll find over there. Okay, you might be able to see there, guys, but what we did is wait for it to become more coals and ash than to have it, even though we have a little bit of a fire here. We don't necessarily need it over an open fire, because this stew mix, you don't add water to it, and it cooks pretty quick. So I just wanted to have it over the coals here. Have a nice slow cook going. And I'm using the Ozark Trail Hobo tool. I find it better than using a spork, because you have a separate knife, you have a separate, or I'm sorry, you have a separate fork and a separate spoon, and then there's a blade on the inside that I put a decent edge on. I believe there's also an awl. It's not a very sharp awl, and a can opener. Okay guys, so the food is complete. The vegetables are soft, it's nice and warm. So I've taken that off, I'll let that sit. And then all I was doing over here is just getting the fire going a little bit again. So we'll have a nice meal next to the fire. I'm just throwing some of these smaller pieces on there. And then I am going to eat this, guys. Okay guys, now that we're packing up, I just wanted to show you real quick the MSR Seagull Cook Pot. This is what it looks like open. It has the handle. You just saw that we cooked some beef stew in it, or whatever that chunky meal was. And you could do a lot with this thing. You could actually cook eggs right in this. I've used this bottom part as a frying pan. Kind of tough to maneuver with the spatula, but it's wide enough. This is, I believe, the 1.1. They come in different sizes, but this one's wide enough where I can actually cook eggs right in there. A lot of different things. Another thing I've done that you can do and cook with is this lid. This lid is heavy duty enough where you can cook. And see, these are the fish mouth spreaders from Dave Canterbury's website. You could actually hook these in to the top and use this as a pan. I've done that over the emberlit stove before. I always carry the emberlit stove. And I've had the emberlit stove going and I just cooked them like this, but this handle gave me easier control, so the eggs didn't get burnt in there. You can't cook a lot of eggs at one time, and also it works good if you have a multi-tool that you hold onto this part with, but it's just the versatility. I also have a coat hanger wire hook. I have it in a couple of earlier videos, I didn't bring it today, but a hook which hangs this mechanism. It essentially works as a bail for the MSR pot. Okay, so when we're packing it up, it holds everything so well and so tight that it's versatile. So I have a piece of cotton cloth, which, as you can see, it's cut. I use it as char cloth a lot. So I'll throw that over, and then inside the MSR pot, it's a little bit damp in there because we just washed it. But my headlamp, Trangia stove, filled with heat, by the way. Another lighter, Monster ferro rod, piece of fat wood, coffee, and you know what? Before I do all that, I'm sorry guys. MSR The 1.1, this is the 1.1 liter. The emberlit stove fits right in there, right on the bottom. Then on top of the emberlit stove is where I put all the gear that I just showed you. So bag of coffee was the last thing. The fish mouth spreader I actually keep in my canteen, so we'll show you that at another time. And then we close this up. The lid goes on. The handle simply bends over the lid, and we lock it into place. So now that we're traveling, and this is going back in my pack, this becomes a gear holder, a place for a lot of good gear. And then my last step, I have a stuff sack, because I don't clean off the black, the soot on there, because I like having that on there. I absolutely believe in the fact that the black on the pans, on the pots and pans and cooking gear, allows it to heat up quicker. So I have the stuff sack so it doesn't get my backpack soiled from soot, essentially. So I keep it in there, and then we throw it in the backpack just like that. Alright guys, I hope that helped out. And if you're looking for a good, solid, versatile cook kit, give a look at the MSR Seagull. This is a little bit bigger of a model, the 1.1 liter. I bought this at Gander Mountain for about $22, and you could find the different sizes on Amazon for right around that same price. The smaller they go, the less they are, of course. But I thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you again down the road, guys.